Bloomington's new chocolate factory is officially open for business. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Wednesday, May 8th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with state and local leaders celebrating a sweet new development at Ferrero. WGLT's Lindsay Jones has more.
Bloomington Mayor Mboka Malomboye says the latest expansion at candy manufacturer Ferrero's plant in the city brings out his inner child.
But I'd be kidding if I didn't admit to feeling a little bit like a kid again today as we celebrate the opening of our very own chocolate factory.
Malomboye was one of several state and local leaders who were on hand at the candy manufacturer's plant to celebrate its most recent 70,000 square foot expansion. That addition added a literal chocolate factory to the Bloomington plant's operation.
And when we see those crunch bars, 100 grams, Raisinets, Kinder Bueno candies in the stores or at the movie theater, we'll know that Bloomington played a role in making the world just a little bit happier.
The expansion also brought an additional 50 jobs to the factory. Malomboye says the city is currently in, quote, robust talks with community partners about an ongoing housing shortage in the midst of additional hiring, not only from Ferrero, but also electric vehicle maker Rivian in Normal.
It's a nice problem to have. We're growing quite a bit, but, we have to be a little bit more aggressive because, it takes a while to build housing.
Also on hand for the ceremonial ribbon cutting was Governor J.B. Pritzker, who was in town just a week ago to announce more than $800 million in tax incentives for Rivian.
Companies want to come here. They want to be in central Illinois. So we're just trying to make it easier for them to come at the state level by providing some tax incentives so they know we're here, we can compete with other states.
Ferrero's addition is already complete and in operation. For The Leadoff, I'm Lindsay Jones.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. Nearly 100 faculty members at Illinois State University have signed a letter supporting the rights of pro-Palestinian protesters. That letter was published as a letter to the editor in the Vedette student media outlet. Ameren, Illinois says work is underway on upgrades to the South Roosevelt Avenue substation that will strengthen the electric grid serving businesses and residential customers in downtown Bloomington. And the National League of Cities will bring its Centennial Roadshow to Normal on Monday, May 13th. We're one of 100 stops on the tour, each featuring unique stories and experiences showcasing the achievements of local government. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. The United Methodist Church repealed its 50-year ban on LGBTQ clergy and approved new language that opens the door for same-sex marriages. At the last General Conference in 2019, the church doubled down on policies restricting full inclusion in the church. The most recent global gathering of church leaders and delegates marks a striking reversal. WGLT's Lauren Warnicki has more.
Parishes strongly opposed to the Methodists' gradual move toward what some view as left-leaning progressive values have already left the denomination. Some congregations left because they felt the church wasn't effectively enforcing its 2019 ban on gay clergy and gay weddings. The UMC gave parishes a window to disaffiliate and keep their property, which is owned by the church. 7,600 American parishes took the deal. Bloomington Normal's 6 Methodist churches have opted to stay, and the window to disaffiliate remains closed. Here's Pastor Sarah Isbell of Wesley United Methodist Church.
Churches who are particularly perturbed or unsettled by what just happened at General Conference, I'm not sure how they will handle it. My fervent hope is that we can go back to the collaboration, the cooperation, the listening, and the communicating that we tried to do at General Conference, and we can still yet find a way to live together.
Isbell is pleased by this reversal at what she says was the most cordial and amenable conference she's attended. But it wasn't without tough negotiation.
While I think it would be safe to say that 85% of United Methodists in the United States, at least those who served as delegates in the past several quadrennia, have wanted and longed for a more inclusive church, a more inclusive and welcoming stance, especially toward LGBTQ people. That's not true of everyone in the United States, and it's certainly not true of everyone around the world.
Isbell even anticipates some disappointment from within her own congregation.
Some of them were happy in 2019 when we came home from that conference, and they said to me, but what if this is the will of God? I want them to feel at home also.
As it's written now, the United Methodist Book of Discipline no longer threatens punitive action on gay clergy or those who perform same-sex marriages, but it doesn't affirm them either.
Churches that are not ready to have appointed to them a pastor that identifies as LGBTQ, for example, or churches that are not ready, pastors who are not ready to conduct same-sex marriage ceremonies, they don't have to.
Another work product of this year's General Conference was a move toward regionalization, which gives churches agency to flex the rules to match global social and political contexts.
We're not always going to agree with each other. Many of us think that's one of the best things about the United Methodist Church, is that we don't always have to agree with each other, and we can all live together, worship, work, and mission together, even if we don't agree on every single detail.
Reserve Delegate Eric Slingerland is originally from Goodfield. He grew up attending Wesley United Methodist Church and felt the call to ministry as a student at Illinois State University. Next year, Slingerland will graduate from Wesley Seminary in Washington, D.C. He hopes to return to Central Illinois to lead his own church. He sought to get involved with the Illinois Great Rivers Conference to help pepper the legislature with younger, more progressive voices.
That does seem to be where a lot of the remaining United Methodists in the U.S. are.
For Slingerland, participating in the process and waiting for the Methodist Church, a big, glacially moving body, to better align with his values is worth the wait.
Seeing so many folks who wanted to remain United Methodists and also fight for some degree of more inclusion was definitely a big factor for me. And I mean, after the last couple of weeks, it felt worth it.
Faced with an aging population and decline in participation in organized religion throughout the U.S., conservative congregants fear the church's gradual move toward inclusion is a knee-jerk response to pressure from progressives. But Pastor Sarah Isbell of Wesley United Methodist rejects the notion that the church is merely caving to culture.
While there is a rumor afoot that we, the remaining United Methodist Church, has just signed our own death warrant, I find that when you open the doors a little wider, more people can come through. This is a move to share the saving love of Jesus Christ with more people.
I'm Lauren Warnicki.
Before we let you go, McLean County's Board of Health meets tonight at 5:30 at the Health Department. On the agenda are updates to various fees for services, such as testing and immunizations. And that's it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. Thanks to our producer, Rosalie Truback. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.